Hey guys, welcome back to Heiko Shaves. I thought it is time for another fine shave. I realized I haven't shaved with the Fine DE5 in a while, and so I wanted to take it for another spin. The DE5, made by Fine Accoutrements, which is the same company that also sells soaps and aftershaves and brushes. You might have heard of Fine. A little while ago, I want to say maybe half a year ago, they came out with their own razor. It's actually not the first time, second time that they have, brought out their own razor. And this one here is the DE5. So let me read a little bit to you. Men's shaving was perfected in 1904, but has gone mostly downhill ever since. Experience the greatness of what was with the Fine DE5 safety razor. This one here, 100% solid metal, yep, with a stainless steel core. Signature evolved open comb guard, includes fine feather blades, gleaming electroplated chrome finish. Supposedly weighs 95.1 grams, and we're going to verify that right now. Mine only weighs 93 grams, so they are owing me 2 grams. Razor made in China, blades made in Japan. So they are selling this thing for $50, has 84 reviews, 4 stars, $50, including 5 feather blades. And so we're going to use a feather blade in this. It is mostly zinc, cast zinc, but they definitely put a little bit more effort into it than some other manufacturers. So a few design changes over like the common 3-piece, and I'm going to elaborate on this a little bit. So first of all, they made the alignment pins a little different. They look like bullets almost, there and there. So they're a little longer. And they also have alignment tabs in the middle there between the threaded part and the alignment pins. And then here in the base plate, all this alignment stuff lines up with what looks like a keyhole almost. And that makes it very nicely fitting. There's barely any play, just enough so it slides in easily. And then the base plate also, it's an open comb, but it isn't. It's kind of a hybrid between open and closed comb. So yeah, the bullet alignment pins, the specialty designed closed comb, open comb hybrid, and then a pretty hefty handle, which has pretty decent, design in here, lines and whatnot that helps you to hold onto this thing. And overall, $50 nowadays for a safety razor is not too expensive. Of course, there are cheaper ones for 30, 40 bucks. You can also buy a made in China razor elsewhere on AliExpress. But yeah, this one here is sold by Fine Accoutrements. They actually sent this to me back when this came out, first when it came to the market. That was when my channel was really young and I barely had any subscribers, and they still were willing to send me one. And then we have a feather blade, only used once. And you guys know I have to, I need to be environmentally friendly and actually use those blades up. So it has been used once. That shouldn't be a problem. Some people say that feather blades actually get a little better after the first shave. So we're going to use it a second time. It's already loaded. And then I already showed you the other products here, also made by Fine Accoutrements. This here is Barber Blue, made in Italy. The soaps and the aftershaves are made in Italy for Fine. And they have really, this whole business has a little bit of this vintage or classic look to it. They do a lot of two-tones. They have really cool looking shave bowls that have this two-tone. They don't sell 250 different razors, but just one. And I think this one here is actually pretty good. It isn't the mildest. I give you that right out of the gate. All right, let's just scoop a little bit of soap here out of my soap container. Just a little bit. And put it in my little polymer shave bowl. You guys know I'm not trying a new shave bowl every other week. I have already way too many. I have like 5 or 6 shave bowls. That's more than a guy needs, right? I mean, if I would have one for summer and then a scuttle for winter warm shaving, I think I would be equipped. But I have more than that. And I always switch between the timeless here. I like it. And this little one here. I like that too. And yeah, we're going to use this beautiful 20 millimeter fine accoutrements for a fine shave. Synthetic knot, they have a angel hair, they call it. Angel hair. It's very soft. Unfortunately, it doesn't have as much backbone as some of the other synthetic knots that I have. But it is very usable, very friendly to the skin. I want to mix this up with my Stirling mentholated pre-shave soap, because I like to use pre-shave. You know, a good soap, you probably don't need to do that, but I like to do it anyways. So I just dipped it into my water down here, and we're just rubbing this on, and then I'm putting it out of my hand and add a little bit more water. And look at that, it's almost lathering. It's mentholated. Overall, you can smell the menthol a little bit. It has a little bit of a, maybe a minty. Let's look at the ingredients here real quick. Coconut oil, grapeseed oil, sustainable palm oil, castor oil, almond oil, olive oil, distilled water, sodium hydroxide, vegetable glycerin, menthol, and sodium lactate. Besides the menthol effect, the cooling effect, it doesn't really have much scent to it. So it's not going to interfere with the scent of your soap. Talking about the scent of the soap, it's really, I mean, it's called Barber Blue, and it's a very mildly scented but very clean smelling soap. It's what you would imagine if you close your eyes and you imagine a barber shop in the 1950s where the gentleman would go for a straight edge shave. Very nice. I really like this soap. It smells good. It lathers really well, as you will see here in a second. So let's get the brush just wet, shake off some of the water, and then go right in here. And this 20 millimeter knot and this little bowl here, they kind of cooperate really well with each other. The handle of the brush is also long enough so you don't dip your fingers in there. I wish the knot would be a little stiffer. If the loft is the distance from the handle to the top of the brush, if the loft would be a little shorter, that usually makes the bristles a little stiffer. I think I would like it a little better, but it's still a very usable brush. And I do like the two-tone design, which is very reminiscent of my Everready C40. I would say that probably the handle material and the internal structure is better quality here on this fine brush than actually on this Everready. The Everready handles are hollow. It's just a injection molded plastic shell, two pieces, and they are glued together. The red and the white are glued together. This one here, this feels very solid. So this is more like a resin handle, which then gets drilled to install the knot. At least it feels more solid. And the Everready also has a seam on one side, and this one doesn't. So overall, I would say, you know, people are always so spun up about. I mean, Everready was made in the United States back in the 60s and 70s, part of the American Razor Company. And so from that perspective, it is kind of cool. But the materials they used back then are definitely not up to par with what we can produce these days. All right, I think we got enough lathered up in here. It's really lathering up really well. Let's put it in my face and let's get going. We're just going to do a two-pass here today because I still have to go to work today. It's already been a long day. I went motorcycle riding, in case you guys didn't know. I ride motorcycles. I have a vintage 1974 BMW R90/6, and I also have a another BMW 1978 R100/7, and I took one of the two out today with a friend. Just a quick lap around the neighborhood, had a burger for lunch, and then came back home. And now we're shaving so that I can go to work here in a little while. Night shift, you know, the night shift, the good old night shift. All right, so we are lathered up. We have pre-shave in my face, lathered up, and now we're gonna use the DE5 by Fine. And like I said, it's pretty good. The handle is pretty good with those lines to hold onto. And we're going to go and shave. It's kind of like an open comb, so you gotta keep your pressure under control. And this is a medium aggressive razor. It's not the mildest of the mild. And we have a feather blade in there that has only been used once. Cutting my sideburns really short. You see the little bit of open comb behavior that it leaves some stripes behind. When you use an open comb and you push too hard, then your skin will go in between the prongs of the open comb, and that's where the blade is pretty much unprotected open, and you will be able to cut yourself. So you gotta keep the pressure down. Let the sharp blade and the weight of the razor do its thing. I didn't shave at all yesterday, so this is a 2-day shave. Yeah, you just gotta keep the pressure down. So this is not a 6 a.m. autopilot razor. Sometimes you buy like a $30 razor and then the quality is just not there. This one here, on the other hand, fit and finish is really nice. Blade tabs stick out, but the positive side effect of that is that the edge here is really close to the cutting edge of the blade. So you can get really close to your nose or to, you know, the tighter corners in your face. Again, with lots of stubbles in your face. The first pass will feel a little bit more aggressive. But then once most of the stubbles are gone, it suddenly calms down a little bit and the razor will not feel as aggressive anymore. There's still some left here. We're just rubbing it in. There's still a little bit of the menthol feeling. I like that, the coolness. And we're gonna lather up for the second pass today. The soap is really nice. There is so much left in here. I mean, look at that. I could lay this on here like an inch thick and sling it all over the place. It's very creamy, but light at the same time, has lots of residual slickness. I read the ingredients of the pre-shave, but I think we should take a look at the ingredients of the soap. Who knows who in Italy actually makes that for Fine. It doesn't say that anywhere. You know, there are some really good soap makers in Italy. Let's take a look real quick. Manufactured for fine accoutrements in European agent. Barbieri Unity SRL in Largo Adua 1, Bergamo, Italy. Okay. Fortunately, it doesn't say what the ingredients are. Yeah, so I guess you will have to go online yourself. I will put a link down below and check it out. I'm just joking. I'm going to get my phone here in a second and we will together take a look. Very good. Very, very nice. Yeah, across the grain. Across the grain really gets the job done to, 97, 98%. So first pass with the grain to take, 60, 70% off. And then the across the grain pass with some slight blade buffing here and there. Takes pretty much 90, takes it to 97%. And then that last little bit that you would get with an against the grain. But since I still have to go to work and I don't want to have this slight burning sensation that I sometimes get from a little bit more aggressive razors. If I would have a leaf twig in my hand, I would do 3 passes, 5 passes, and it wouldn't affect me. But if there is a little bit more blade stick out and a little bit more blade gap, I'd rather be careful. As you guys all know, on my upper lip, I only do more or less with the grain, or else I get a burning sensation up here, and I don't like that. And against the grain down here. Let's do against the grain down here. The one big advantage of an open comb is that they don't tend to clog up as easily. Some closed comb razors, especially if you use a little bit more creamy soap, they tend to clog up. With an open comb you don't have that. There's more space for everything to push through. But like I said, if you used a little bit too much pressure, you might nick yourself. And this one here, like I said, on my 1 to 5 scale, I would maybe put it at a 2.5. I was meaning to do a comparison to the Müller R41, which is like the aggressive razor that I have sitting here, which is similar in design. It's actually kind of also a hybrid. It's not super wide open, but this one is known to be fairly aggressive. And one day we're going to compare those two, the DE5 and the R41. But the DE5 by Fine, very affordable, very nicely designed. Has this 3D design here at the top that I haven't seen on any other razor. And then, the alignment of top and base plate is really nice. The handle is good and chunky and pretty heavy. So let's rinse off. Yeah, very nice, guys, very nice. My skin seems to be happy. I didn't nick myself. The 2.5 passes that we did, a little cleanup here and there, gave me a really nice clean shave. And my skin is still happy. And yeah, feather blade. People are afraid of feather blades. I would say feather blades are really nice and sharp, and they stay sharp for quite a while. I mean, people always claim those huge numbers like 10 shaves on one feather blade. And I don't see why not, because it starts out so sharp and then it loses over time a little bit. And then before it gets to the really dull blade of, some other blades come out of a package as dull as a feather blade is after 10 shaves probably. As long as you have your technique down and you know what kind of razor you're using, you're not like me switching between razors all the time. You're actually getting used to one. And even here with this open comb design, it's doable. It's doable. If I would have done the same shave a year ago, I probably would have nicked myself. But even just calling it out to you guys, be careful, keep the pressure down, reminds me not to, it's not a garden implement. It's not like digging in the dirt, So just be gentle. 95 grams or 93 grams. I think this is a really nice razor. And if you like it a little spicier, if you like it a little sharper and a little more aggressive, this one is a good one. All right, let's try the Fine Barber Blue Aftershave. German word of the day, klassisches Rasierwasser. Classic aftershave. Klassisches Rasierwasser, 2 words. And this one here is actually made in the United States. So they have their soaps made in Italy, and this one here, it says manufactured for fine accoutrements by, it says made in the United States, but then the European agent is again the company in Bergamo, Italy. So now I'm confused. This here says proudly made in Italy, right there, you know, little Italian flag, and here it says made in the US. So I have no idea. Maybe they buy the ingredients from that company in Bergamo and they just mix it together by themselves. Not sure. But what I also like about Fine, they don't make a secret out of where their razor is made. They have it big on their webpage. It says made in China. All right. Oof. Also, very classic, kind of powdery, alcohol-based aftershave. Okay, I think that's enough. And I will let this wear off a little bit, and then I will put, I kept saying that I have dry spot here and there. I've been using this cream here, which is very, very thick. But it really helps. It really helps. Made in Germany. The ingredient list is rather short. And I use this Yuka app. I've talked about this before. Yuka, no, that's the wrong app. Yuka, this one here, is an app that scans the barcode of a product. So let's do this real quick. And then it gives you a rating. So this Hautbalsam Glycolate has a rating of 86 out of 100. And then it gives you the entire ingredient list and it explains what that is and why this could be. It says low risk, low health risk, irritation. So there's an ingredient that could give you some irritation. And there's another one that could also give you some irritation. And it gives you a little bit of explanation why and how they tested it and whatnot. But yeah, 86 out of 100 for this German-made cream is actually pretty good. I think when you drop below 50, it goes below good, and then eventually it's poor. I use this Yuka app. I'll put a link down below. I think you can find it in the App Store for Android and iOS. And you can scan cosmetics and also I think food items, and then it will give you the ingredient list and tell you exactly, okay, this ingredient is going to give you cancer, you know. So I do that, and you know, I don't know if that's really all good knowledge there and good information, but I gotta say this cream here is really working for my skin at least, and I'm not getting any irritation from it. And yeah, so usually after an aftershave, I grab here Nivea, or Nivea as the English speakers would say, and just put it right over top of it. Mildly scented, nice cooling effect. Right over top. And then everything is happy. All right, so we really had a fine shave with a fine brush, with a fine soap, with a fine aftershave, with a fine razor. Did I already say with a fine brush and a feather blade? And we survived. We look good. My skin feels happy. And I hope you like the products that I chose today. If you like this channel and you want to help me out to grow this channel and to stick around, give me a thumbs up. And if you're not subscribed already, please do so as well. Alrighty guys, I will see you in the next one. Take care. Bye.